right, y'all. So we back for part 2, and I'm with D. And so I just want to start things off because I know we left off on the last video on a cliffhanger. So I want to ask this, and I'm pretty sure the people want to know: how did you cheat, and who did you cheat with?
Well, I actually was acting like a spoiled brat at times because I've always, when I was little, I've always was known to get what I want from my mother, and if I didn't get what I wanted, then I would pout and just, just act crazy. I guess that's what I would do, like a spoiled brat would do. So with him, I did the same thing. I would act like a spoiled brat because I didn't know about a boyfriend. Like I said, I took him for granted. And so how did I cheat? I actually, he used to accuse me of cheating all the time. I didn't cheat. He had friends that he used to want to hang. They wanted to hang around him and wanted him to be with them. So they would lie. One of them would lie and be like, "Oh man, she cheated on you with such, such, such." And he would always accuse me of cheating. So you know what they say, when somebody accusing you, they probably doing it themselves. So I took it upon myself. I didn't want to hear all that. So it was like some friends of his that liked me. So, I went to the movies with one of the guys, and, I didn't sleep with anybody. I want to keep that clear in the air. Didn't sleep with anybody. This one guy used to like me that was a friend of his brother. And so he picked me up and took me to the movies, and then we went back to his house. And as soon as I was getting ready to get out of the car, my boyfriend rolled past the house while I was walking in the house with the dude. I was like, oh, I was caught.
Wow.
Yeah,
so I know your heart dropped. Like, did you
yeah.
see him? Like, you looked out the window?
Yeah, we made eye contact, and I just felt so bad.
Y'all was on the porch?
I was getting out of the dude's car. And as I was getting out of the dude's car, walking on the sidewalk to go into the dude's house, my boyfriend rolled by and saw me walking in the house, on the street. I looked, and he looked and I looked, and we made eye contact.
So how did you think he knew where you was? Like, did the person you was with, you think, told him?
Oh, that's a good question. How did he know where I was? I think he probably just rolled by there. I don't know. That's a good question. After all these years, how did he know I was there? I think he probably was following us, maybe. You think?
Yeah, we got to get him on the show.
I don't know. How he know?
So when you were out with this guy, did you feel guilty at all?
Yeah, I did, but I just didn't care for some reason. I don't know, because I thought, back then that, oh, I'm the prettiest girl that he probably ever had, and he's not going to ever get anybody that looks better than me, so I can do this. That was my mindset with him. But lo and behold, he did get another girl that was equal to myself, looking better than me, I would say, back then. Okay. And I was really, really hurt. Oh my God, that hurt my heart and soul.
Okay, so after he caught you cheating, what was the conversation like? Did you have a conversation with him afterwards?
Well, that was one time. So, we was rocky from those times. So this other guy that I went to his house, and so I parked the car that I was driving, and my ex-boyfriend back then, he gave me a car. Well, he didn't really give it to me. He wanted another car, so his mother actually told him to give the car to me, and I would have to have it refinanced in my name. My mom had to do all the switcheroo stuff, but he didn't want to give the car to me. But his mother made him do it. So, but, he knew the car I was driving. So, long story short, I was at another dude's house. It's a different one. And so, I had the car parked in the guy's backyard. So, he came around to the guy's backyard and shined the lights in the window. I was in the guy's room. I don't know how he knew I was back there.
Oh, he might have been stalking you.
I think so, yeah. Putting two and two together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
he
crazy.
Went looking for me. Yeah.
So,
I did all that to him. Yeah.
What happened after that?
So after that, I got in the car because I was nervous at that time. So I got in the car, and I lived in Hollywood Hills, and the guy whose house I was at lived in Meadow Lakes. So I was coming down a dark road called Sharp Road. So my boyfriend got behind me and was speeding up, trying to catch up with me. We could have both died that night because I was trying to get away from him. So I stopped the car because it was a high-speed chase, and he got out the car and started bamming. He had a bat or something, started bamming on the window like he wanted to kill me. And I got nervous and I almost hit him with the car. I drove off fast.
What? That was his car?
That was my car.
Your car?
But he was in his new car, but that was the car that his mom told him to give to me, which I had to have refinanced in my name. So it was my car. Yeah.
Wow, that is just crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It really was. It was crazy.
Yeah. So did y'all talk after that?
After that, he started, I guess he got tired of my stuff or what I was doing and stuff like that. So he, like I told you about this other girl, he dated, his cousin actually dated that girl, but he dated the girl too. So don't ask me how that went and how that happened, but I think he used to be infatuated with her when they were younger, but then he ended up telling the girl stuff about what the cousin did to get the girl. You know, he was backdooring the cousin pretty much. So he went to start dating her and would flaunt that relationship in my face.
So did you know this girl personally?
I didn't know her personally, but I got to know her because I wanted to kill her. I did. I told you I was going to keep it real. Yeah, I wanted to kill her.
Wow.
Yes.
So, and he would flaunt the relationship in front of you?
Yeah.
Like what were some of the things he would do or say?
He would, okay, like I told you before, I never thought that he would leave me because I was like, okay, I'm a pretty girl, you know, I know that, and I probably was the prettiest girl that he ever had at the time. So I didn't think he would leave me. So when he would see me out and he was with her, he would just ignore me. And that's something that I don't like, is rejection. Right now, to this day, I don't like rejection. So, you know, like I said, he would ignore me. She would be doing all the things that we used to do. And I just thought about, you know, like they said, you never know what you lose until it's gone. And like I said, he was a very nice guy. And like he would, like I said, flaunt her, have her riding in the car. And, you know, I was a BMW lady at the time. A lot of guys that I dated, we'll get to that later, had BMWs. I just was a BMW lady. You had a BMW, I was like, okay, who is that? Immature. Yeah.
And how old y'all was at this time?
I started dating him in the summer of going to my junior year. So we were like, what, 16 going on 17?
So all this happened
17,
in high school.
18?
Okay.
Yeah, because him and I dated for 3 years. Yeah, so 16, 17, 18, 19, something like that. Yeah.
So was this other girl, was like she attractive? Were you intimidated by her? Or?
Yes, I was intimidated by her. She was attractive. She actually was an only child, and she, you know, was a pretty girl. And what I did one time, me and his cousin, which is a girl, we actually used to like intimidate the girl. Like we would go to her job. I remember one time she was working at this candy store, and I went into the candy store and make like I was gonna order a bunch of candy. I had to go and, you know, get a bunch of candy, and it had to get weighed, and it was a bunch of candy. I just laid it on the counter like that, and she told me the price, and I just bust out laughing in her face and walked out the store and didn't pay for the candy. Lord, please forgive me.
So you had her get all that candy.
No, I actually had to dig the candy myself, because back then it was a store in Columbia Mall where it was like a candy store that had a lot of different candy, and you can get it, but you had to get it yourself with a scoop, and you take it and you would have to get it weighed at the counter where she worked. So I got a bunch of candy in a bag, and I went and I laid it right there on the counter, and then walked out.
Wow.
And then she worked at the store downtown. I think it was Belk's or Macy's when it was downtown Columbia. And I went in there, and I think she worked at the makeup counter, and I went in there and was acting crazy with her then. But I was thinking back to that stuff, what I did, it was just crazy. But you know, like I said, I had another side to me, y'all.
So did they ever break up and you and him got back together?
We dibbled and dabbled a few times, but you know, that was that. I saw that he didn't want me anymore, so I moved on. And when I moved on, you know, the type of guys, you know, that I dated after that, you know, I like the fast lifestyle, you know, so I dated a lot of drug dealer guys.
All right, and we're
Yeah.
gonna leave it at that. Stay tuned for part 3.
All right.